Hey YouTube, this is my week 34 and week 35 pregnant video. Sorry that it's been a couple weeks, but I've had a lot going on. I've just been really sick, so it's been rough to have time or to find time to make a video. So I'm just going to catch you up on what's been going on. Sorry about the lighting in here too. I have my window open and it snowed outside, so it's like really all white and super bright and doesn't make for very good lighting. So anyway, I had some problems after my last videos, 33 weeks. That following Monday, I started having some contractions at home, and they were pretty strong contractions and pretty constant. They were about, I'd say, 3 to 5 minutes apart and lasting about 30-45 seconds each. And this continued for, I would have probably a set of 6 to 10 contractions, and then they would stop for 20-30 minutes, and then they would start again and have another set. And they never intensified, and they never they weren't, like I said, because they would stop and come and go. They weren't constant. But I called my doctor anyway, and they asked me to come in and they would hook me up to the monitor to see what they could figure out. So I went in there for about 30 minutes, and in that 30 minutes of being hooked up, I had about 20 contractions, they said. So they weren't huge contractions, but they were significant. So of course, the next thing was, at that point I was 33, almost 34 weeks. So my doctor gave me a prescription of Procardia, which is a pill to take every 6 to 10 hours to stop the contractions. And he sent me to the hospital to receive steroid injections. So that day, a few hours after the doctor's appointment, I got my first steroid injection. I can't remember what it's called, Crestal, something like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now. But I did some research on the steroids, and basically what I learned was that they're just to help develop the baby's lungs and brain and intestines quickly in case delivery is imminent in the next 7 days. Next 7 days after the shot, according to what I've researched, is whenever the steroids are most beneficial to the baby and they get all the benefits of them. Anyway, the next day, 24 hours later, I went and received the second shot. That week, I had a week's worth of prescription for the Procardia to stop the contractions. I continued to take them. I would have 1 to 2 contractions here or there. Similar contractions, I guess, would be like regular Braxton Hicks is what you call them. These were painful contractions, though. They weren't just like, I mean, I guess Braxton Hicks can be painful, but these really felt like labor contractions. But anyway, when I went in, I was dilated to 1, so they did check my cervix and determined I was dilated to 1. But mostly everything stopped. So 3-4 days later, I started having contractions again. I just didn't feel right. I had like done a lot of nesting the night before. I was just very hormonal, just achy and sore and not feeling well. So I had my cousin take me into the doctor. They hooked me up, sent me to the hospital, hooked me up on the monitor again, and at that point I wasn't having contractions. I had had contractions the previous, like, overnight and into that morning. I was having contractions, and then by the time we got to the hospital, I wasn't having contractions. I was just having a lot of achiness and pressure and pain in my pelvis. So the nurse didn't know anything. These people don't do anything around here. They just give you a pain pill or a prescription for an antibiotic and send you home. They don't know what to do. So anyway, she told me that maybe it was because of my urinary tract infection that I was feeling the pressure and the pain, and they didn't know, basically. So I could continue taking my regular pain pills or take a Tylenol and just keep taking the Procardia to stop any contractions that I was having. So that's what I've been doing. I haven't had anything significant since then, but last Thursday then, that's why I didn't make a 34-week video, is because I was going through all that, and it was kind of traumatic and just really busy, and it was just really painful, just really a lot of pressure, a lot of backache, a lot of pelvic achiness. I didn't have any blood, any spotting A little more discharge than usual, like a little more mucusy discharge, but nothing like no mucus plug, nothing like that. Um, just a lot of pressure and achiness and just the hormonal feeling and things. So then the next Thursday, my husband decided to come home and from work and explain how sick he was and how he wasn't feeling well and he didn't know what was going on. It was great. That's the news that you always want to get because, of course, about 10 hours later, both of my children were throwing up and had diarrhea, and all three of them had some sort of stomach virus. And I was lucky enough not to have it the first 2 nights, but I knew it was coming. I thought there's no way that I'm in this house with the three of them sick and me not going to get it. So of course, like I said, 2 days later, I got sick. I never did get any of the vomiting or diarrhea like they did, which was weird. But I was just really, it was like the flu. I had a fever and chills, fever and chills. I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. I couldn't eat. Um, just body aches and just pains. And went to my doctor on the 18th, and he didn't seem concerned. He never seems to be concerned about anything. He didn't even check me to see if I was dilated any further. He didn't check me he didn't even ask about the contractions. Like I said, this sometimes I feel like he doesn't even know who I am week to week. He just looks at the chart, sees your name, and then if you don't remind them of what had happened or what you've been through, he's just so busy. He must have like 1,000 patients or something, because he just doesn't. I don't know. It's just you just get a really brushed off feeling, and it's I haven't had any major contractions or anything like that, or I would have made a big deal about it and said something to him. But my next appointment's on the 1st, so when I go back then I will see him, and maybe this baby will be here anytime soon. I mean, that's what I'm told, is that the baby could be here because I've already started to dilate and I had the contractions, and as long as the pericardia holds the contractions off, technically, since I'm in preterm labor, so the baby could be here anytime, now until our induction date on the 16th, could come anytime, but I haven't had any real contractions lately, and the pericardia seems to be working, or has worked, so I don't know what's going to happen, but anyway, like I said, I go back on the 1st if I make it that far, and we'll see then. We went ahead and pre-registered at our hospital. I still need to pack a hospital bag. I was waiting to do that, but I guess since the baby could come anytime, I better finish that up. So anyway, I'll show you my belly. I'm in my bed again like I always am, so bear with me while I have to move the camera around, but we'll get it. Hold on just a second. This is, right now, I am 35 weeks and 3 days. 35 weeks and 3 days. Okay, so that's pretty much all that's been going on here. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this camera now. Okay. No other news really. Like I said, as long as the contractions are stopped and nothing happens. If my water breaks or I lose my mucus plug or anything like that, or I start having contractions that don't stop, then I can go back and see what's going on. I really wish he would have checked me, because I feel like just with all the achiness and crampiness, I know you have to have contractions to dilate, but I've just been doing so much the last week, and just all the pains here and there and everything all put together, it just seems like something should be going on. But I don't know. Anyway, so that's all that's going on right now, and if anything does happen, I will make a video and update you guys. Otherwise, that's it. So I'll see you soon. Bye.